is Farme, and today I'm walking you guys through some tips and tricks for playing Augmentation Invoker instead of Infusion. These tricks are going to involve using Rescue, Sleepwalk, and Stone to facilitate some skips later on in the dungeon around the dragons. The first thing I'm going to show you involves gathering on the first pole and putting your Shadow Priest in a nice spot. Also, the first area is mostly going to revolve around being able to sleepwalk these apparatuses. So the apparatuses are really dangerous on fortified when there's two of them doing beams at once. So on poles that are too big, or poles that you don't have CDs for, being able to sleepwalk one of these or pull an extra one in is going to be helpful, and I'll show you guys how to do that. On this first pole, I usually sleepwalk this first apparatus. We only have to deal with one at a time. The first pole, you definitely don't have to do this because usually it's less than all of your CDs, so you can usually just burn down two, but I just do it for safety for us, and then I'll pull it in after the first apparatus is dead. The second thing I'm going to do is going to be rescuing my Shadow Priest up onto the bench. Once the Shadow Priest is up there, if you have another range class, you can also have them grip, say your mage, up onto the bench as well. But once you're up here, you won't get hit by the defender leap, so they won't leap out, so everybody can do better DPS, going to stay stacked more, and also you don't have to dodge and move as much. And that's basically going to be it for the first pull. All I'm going to be doing on this first pull is making sure that I am re-sleepwalking this apparatus and then breaking it out and kicking it when the first apparatus is dead. Okay, on to the next pull. Next pull, we're going to be combining them, but we don't have CDs this week to pull them. We use them all in the last pull, so we're focusing down this apparatus, and we want to pull in the next three defenders without having to fight this apparatus. So I'm just going to be sleepwalking this apparatus out, and then once it's sleepwalked, then our tank is going to pull all the defenders. And that way we can AoE all this down together. We don't have to do it as two separate pulls. Once this first apparatus is dead and we're having the DPS focus it again, I'm going to break out this apparatus and kick it. I just want to make sure that I have a tracker right here for my sleepwalk, making sure that I re-sleepwalk it so that it doesn't just sit back there and cast X pull. So that's something you want to look out for. Okay, so this is the third pull leading up to the first boss. So there's two apparatuses already in this first pull. The way we do this pull is we go over here, we grab this pack, and then once our CDs are up, then we pull this pack into this pack, and then we're focusing down the apparatuses. Once there's only one left, I'm going to look at sleepwalking the next apparatus, one of the apparatuses out of the next pack that's right in front of the boss. There's two right here, and as you see, we don't have CDs, so we just popped PI, and our PI, breath, everything like that, we just popped it 20 seconds ago, so she still has some of her CDs rolling right now. So ideally, I want to pull one of these apparatuses out for us to finish having something to focus DPSing while we're AoEing down everything else, and that way the next pull we don't have to go into it and fight two apparatuses at once when we're dry on CD. So it's kind of a twofer, and then after that we'll just focus on one apparatus and pull the rest of the three defenders. They're all going to be nice and healthy. We're going to pull those into the boss. So it depends on where your CDs come up. Sometimes you'll sleepwalk this out earlier, but since we had our CDs come up kind of late, I'm sleepwalking it out later, and we'll end up DPSing it down for a little bit while we finish off these other guys. We don't want to bring them in and sting them right away. And then we're just going to end up chaining this into the next pull. And after that, we only have one apparatus to kill. We pull that into the boss, and it's on to the next. The next part comes after the Gulping Goliath is defeated. In order to skip this first dragon, you're going to be rescuing past this rock. So what can happen is your priest can mind soothe the other two, but it can't mind soothe the dragon anymore after those hot fixes a little while ago. And then you're going to have your priest can either fade by and walk by, or you can rescue them. And then once your priest is over there, they're going to grip someone, life grip someone, and they're going to cast Time Spiral, and then they're going to grip someone else. And also for the fifth person, you can have the Stone. So in this case, I have the Stone on the Rep Paladin here. In this case, she does have fade up, so she's going to go up by herself. And you get in that spot, I'll back up a second, because it's kind of a bit of a tricky and exact spot to get into. You can't be directly in the corner, you have to back up a tiny bit. You can see I take a step back and then I rescue her. And the priest is already here, and she's going to grip the druid or tank so they can get by. And then after that, say she didn't have fade and I had to rescue her, it would have been fine because I could have had Time Spiral and stuff like that to help us facilitate getting across. And then we end up doing this middle dragon and the 4-pack here, and we're also going to skip this last dragon, so I'll skip to that part. And then for skipping this last dragon, basically it's going to jump up, get up here, and then you can rescue someone up. Usually I get up the Shadow Priest, and then our Rhett has the Wernstone, so she just teleports to me. And then she's going to, I just cast Time Spell so she could grip someone else as well, because she gripped the tank, and then she ended up gripping our Mistweaver as well, so that everyone could get by pretty quickly and safely. You don't need any of that. Like, any class can make that jump up. Sorry, my cat's shaking the desk. But just having those things is like extra safety, so you don't end up wasting time if somebody's struggling with the jump. Yeah, thank you so much. Those are all the tips and tricks I have for Halls of Infusion, and good luck.